Hi, hello viewers, Mamukase. Welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network, where we give you the latest trending news in the nation of Zimbabwe without fear, without favor, without any bias. So doctors and nurses and radiographers, they are on strike. They announced last week that they were embarking on a strike today, that is Monday, 20th of June 2022. And they've honored to their call, they are on strike. And this is a disaster to the public who are seeking medical attention at hospitals, at various clinics and health centers. And this is a disaster that we have seen that the leaders have failed to come up with or to meet their constitutional obligations. That is to make sure that there is undisrupted health service delivery in the nation of Zimbabwe. And personally, I don't want to give doctors and nurses a blame on this, because when you are incapacitated, you get affected in your house, in your families, because there is no enough food. The father, the mother, the kids, they create so much tension because you cannot meet the needs of your family. That creates so much tension. You cannot meet the needs of your children. When your children goes to school, they see other kids with with basic things, and your kids don't have anything. That creates tension in families, because when the kid is coming back to school and he or she explains to the mother is not happy, to an extent where other mothers or they will begin to see their men or their husbands as weak. Why? It's because the government has neglected our doctors. The government has neglected our nurses, our radiographers, our police, our soldiers, and the entire civil service. They have neglected the civil service. They have neglected the labor force, which makes the government viable, or which makes the government to go forward. So for you to have a functional economy, you need to have a functional labor force. A dysfunctional labor force results to a dysfunctional government. So a lot of people would ask questions, why is it that there is so much chaos in the economy of Zimbabwe? The truth of the matter is that we have a dysfunctional labor force, which is originated from slavery. This is slavery we have in Zimbabwe. I say this authoritatively. This is slavery, because if we go to the constitution, it says the people who are working must be given a remuneration, which is fair. If we go to the Labor Act, it speaks about fair remuneration of people. And do we have that in Zimbabwe? We don't. So the constitutional mandate of the government is to make sure that its workers are paid well, its workers' welfare is respected, so that they deliver in every area they are, be it teachers, be it doctors, soldiers, police. And to those who want to work from their hearts, they will work without any problem. And that will reduce corruption, that will reduce incompetency, that will reduce all sorts of other things which are not so good, or which are not so viable for the people. So, number one, the reasons why the doctors are on strike, they are saying they are getting very low wages. And the government has announced a 100% pay rise. And 100% of zero is zero. How can you say 100% of 50,000 is 100,000? And what does 100,000 do? It does nothing. Even if they argue and say there is a US dollar component, yatakaisa, let's go back to 2017. When Robert Mugabe was removed, the lowest paid government official was earning $400 and above. 400 US dollars and above. And they were saying it's not enough. So if they were saying $400 is not enough in 2017, and Emerson Mnangagwa, through Sibosiso Moyo, said, we are restoring legacy. We are removing Mugabe, we are removing criminals surrounding Mugabe, and we are going to make the economy sound, we are going to respect the will of the workers. And that was live on television. And this is the legacy you restored of poverty, of suffering, of incompetence. This is the legacy. So you have seen that when people were striking, wanting more money from $400, they wanted more money. They wanted more opportunities. They wanted equal opportunities. Right now, they are earning less than $200. And how do you justify that? From the lowest paid getting $400 to $200 at this moment, if you combine everything, my COVID allowance and so forth, they are earning $200 and below. And how do you expect them to work? Because rent, the lowest rent being paid in Harare is $40 per room. That is the lowest rent. I don't know if there are any other, but the lowest rent I know of is $40 per room. So 3 rooms for a family, 3 rooms, you will need $120. Subtract it from $200. A doctor will need $30 to go to work every month. Then that is the list. From one, if you add from 120, it becomes 150, and you are left with $50. Magetsi ekumba kwako you need 25. Magetsi nemvura you need $30. That is 180. Lunch yauri kudya kubasa kwako you need $20. Okay, chikafu uchatenga nei? Okay, school fees yevana uchabhadhara nei? Hembe dzaunondisa basa uchadzitenga nei? Boots uchatenga nei? Airtime yekuti phone uchatenga nei? So you have kids in university and you are being given peanuts. How are you going to pay for that for those fees for your kids in university? It means kids of the elite are going to university while the kids of the poor are wallowing in poverty. This is the reason why our kids are now having sugar daddies so that they can pay their school fees. And who are these sugar daddies? They are the same elites who are creating the mess we have in Zimbabwe. These are the same people who are bedding our kids at universities. These are the same people whose kids are going onto Twitter calling these girls Ziborani, calling them Mapotos. These are the same people. Their kids are abusing our girls. The fathers are also abusing our girls. These are the same boys who go on Twitter and say, Ziborani Sarora. But we have created the mess. They are creating this mess. And they are the only ones who are happy. Our doctors or nurses, the entire civil service, nobody is happy. Ishura kuona mcivil servant aneimba zvino izvi. Akatenga imba kana kuti akatenga stand in the recent years, except you are stealing. Because since pakapinda munangagwa kana usiri kuba wakaitenga nei. You don't have a side business. Wakaitenga nei? Wakaitenga nei? Hauna rimwe business rauri kuita. You are just a civil servant. From 2017 up to this day, hakuna civil servant asiri kuba, asina rimwe business rauri kuita akatenga imba, akatenga stand, akatenga mota. Because each and every month you are being left with a debt. Each and every month, rules are all minus. So this is the reason why we are saying we need to change the status quo. We need to have a viable government which is going to deal with issues. The radiographers, speaking for the radiographers, they are facing very tough challenges, but they cannot speak out. Here are the challenges. There is no radiotherapy machine which is working in the nation of Zimbabwe. At this moment, there is no radiotherapy machine which is working. So what happens is that when somebody is going through radiotherapy, they need to go it constantly without skipping so much days. So you can actually see that when people spend 2-3 months without taking their radiotherapy, it's now 6 months without taking their radiotherapy treatment, it means they are being affected. Those people are being affected because Those cancer cells were burnt and you stopped, which means they are now angry. The cells are angry and they will begin to rapidly increase. And these people are in pain. In pain, cancer patients are in pain. If you never had a relative with cancer, you don't understand this. But if you had somebody who is dear to you who had cancer in the nation of Zimbabwe, you understand what I'm telling you. You understand this. So check the trauma faced by the family, by the patients, by the radiographers and doctors themselves. What about the nurses? There are no gloves, there are no drugs, everything. So just imagine you're a doctor, you want to attend to a patient, and there is no drug. You go to the pharmacy and you are told, this drug, we don't have this drug. And you have already prepared your patient. You have to send somebody to run to a pharmacy to buy that drug. Just imagine if these people don't have money. I saw doctors mobilizing to raise money for a certain patient this other time, and they said, at atichagona kurega this process. So they mobilized money and they sent somebody to go and buy a drug just because the hospital or the government is failing to provide those basic drugs. So this is a matter of incompetence, a matter of failure. You cannot fail to give people salaries. You fail to give them equipment to use. You fail to give them the necessary tools, the necessary drugs. So what are you doing in government? Why are you going to work every day? Why are you being called a leader? We have minerals in Zimbabwe. More than 38 minerals, non-minerals which are paid. But where is that money going to? 100 million iri kubiwa mwedzi wega wega. Kubiwa chaiko chaiko mwedzi wega wega. Because we are losing close to 1.5 billion every year. This is the list, 1.5 billion. Which means 100 million is being looted each and every month. And we don't have basics in the hospitals. So, Team Zimbabwe, if you are not convinced to register to vote because of this, I don't know what is going to convince you. If you are not convinced to vote out ZANU-PF, I don't know what is going to convince you. If you are not convinced to work against the tyrannies we have, I don't know what is going to convince you. The day you go to the hospital and you find the hospital with no drugs, and you have your relative who is suffering, a dear person to you who is suffering, it's the day you are going to realize that we need change. This change has been late, and we need to make sure that we don't miss it in 2020. Because if we miss it up to 2028, you suffer. I'm telling you. I have suffered in this world. I have suffered in this country personally, and I need change. I have seen a Zimbabwe where you cannot register a company without paying bribes, without being corrupt. I fork out $100 to pay for a company registration, and the government is only taking $35. What does that mean? Where is the rest going? So if the government cannot save money from its own people, is that a government? It's not. It means only the elite, they are benefiting, and the rest, we are suffering. So I don't want to take it further from this. The last point I want to make is that there is no equipment. There are no drugs. There is nothing. Salaries are so low, and there is a heavy presence at the hospital, police presence at the hospitals. I don't know why they've deployed police. Is it to intimidate? We don't know. So we are going to put the pictures, we are going to post the pictures right on this platform so that you get to know what is really happening. And we will continue to give you constant updates about what is really happening. So we are continuing to come up with stories, and we will be live. I don't want to take it further than this. If you have any contribution you feel that you want to make, please get in touch to us through the WhatsApp number right on the screen. If you want to donate something so that we keep on going, or we manage to have proper equipment for our live streams, please use the details scrolling on the screen right there, so that you get in touch with us and we become able to do a lot of things. At this moment, I am capable to be live. I can go live without interruptions. But the problem is that the equipment which we are using is not up to standard. That is the reason why you see the quality of our live streams is not so good. So if you want to assist us, it's either you may want to assist us by paying for our StreamYard. Please get in touch with us. We'll give you the details. If you want to buy us anything, any equipment, feel free to contact us, and we will give you an opportunity to support the cause. All we want is a better Zimbabwe than equal Zimbabwe. So till we meet again in other episodes, Chingetwai Namwani.